I'm going to make a quick video here for you showing you how to station align if you don't have any of the network extensions for like roads and highways or for utility networks, but you still need to get a line that has stationing on it. I'm going to show you how to do that and have it be formatted so that it looks correct. It looks like stationing. So I'm going to just go to the area near where I live, and we're going to make a line. First, we have to create a feature class, and the line, it has to be a line feature class that is M enabled. So we're going to go to View, Catalog pane, and we're going to right click and create a new feature class. It's got to be a polyline, and this is important. It must have M values enabled. This is so that later on we can use the route tool. If you don't have M values, you can't create a route later on. It will need to have an identifier, otherwise the route tool won't work. I like to just use a name. I like to use, let's see, we're going to use a state plane. And let's see, navigate 3, US feet, we're in Pennsylvania, we need Pennsylvania South. There it is. The one that goes along with this is the navd, so we're just going to pick that and click finish. Alright, so now we have this feature class, station align feature class, and we can go ahead and create a line. So that if you already have an existing line, you could just trace it. We're just going to create something here. We'll just kind of clip along following this road. So we'll just make believe it's like a new water line going in Agnew Road here. Where do we want it to stop? We'll stop it right there. Alright, we're going to hit save. One thing we could have done is name it already, but because of that we didn't. We'll add a name to it and just call it Agnew Waterline. It needs to have some sort of identifier for the next step. Save it again. And the next step is important. You can't station or you can't use measurements on just a regular M-enabled polyline. It just doesn't work for whatever reason. So first we have to create routes. And we're going to use the Create Routes tool. There it is. We're going to select this line that we just created. The identifier is going to be the name field. The output, we'll just use the one that it's telling us. We want them to use the length of the features. And we can start routing from this end and go in this direction. Or we could say the upper right corner, lower right corner. So maybe we want to start from over here and station to the left. Let's, in this case, start in the lower left down here. And we'll work this way. All right. And then environments, I don't know that we really need anything. We'll just use the current map. And then we'll hit run. All right, now it has a route that's a replicate of the stationing of the M-enabled line. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. And the next step is to change the symbology to add a marker feature. So let's go ahead and do that. We're just going to click here and go into the properties, and then we're going to click this little wrench. We're going to add a symbol layer. It's going to be a marker layer. All right. Now we're going to go back to the layers. And one of the things we also need to do is click these three little lines up here. and select to allow symbol property connections. And you'll see that lets these little database icons pop up in our symbology, which is going to be important. Then we're going to go into this shapes, the form, and we want hatch marks with text. So you go with this little line here with the text. You could pick this that wouldn't have the little line, but this is the one we want. We're going to click that. And we're going to go into the element, and we want to edit what the text is going to be. We want that to be created dynamically based on a database string, a database call. So we're going to click the little database, and then we're going to click this little function, set an expression box here. And something you could do, I'm just going to do this simply first. You're going to use the measure expression. So use the little dollar sign and hit measure. It's a valid expression. Just click OK and click OK. So this is for simple stationing, just to put measurements in. And then we'll scroll down to marker placement. And we're going to change placement from along the line to at measured units. And the interval, typically when we do stationing, we use either 100 or you could use 50-foot intervals, but we're going to assume you're using 100 here. So this will go 100 feet because that's what the coordinate system is in. And I'm just going to click apply. And you can see that that has now added every 100 feet a new hash mark with the station. But you know, when we do our reports, stationing has a very specific format. So even though this makes a lot of sense for us logically, it's not how we typically depict stations. We usually want something that is, like in this case, 1 plus 0, 0 instead of 100. And you might have stationing that's maybe not exactly 1 plus 0, 0. So if it was just 1 plus 0, 0 and you just wanted the simple stationing, we could go back to this text string and change it and simply say that the expression is that divided by 100, and then we're just going to add in the 0, 0, well, and there should be a plus sign, like that. So we're going to first remove the 2 zeros by dividing by 100, and then we're going to add them back in by including them as text. And then click OK. And then now let's apply that. So now this definitely looks like stationing, but it doesn't really help us. Like for instance, if you have something that you want stationed, you know, maybe the start station is a little bit different, so it's not starting at 0, or maybe you have stationing that is a little more arbitrary. For that, I've created a script, and I'll link it. I'll put the text of this in the comments for the YouTube video, but I've gotten a lot of questions or a lot of comments from people wanting this little script that I wrote. So we're going to go back into the text string and look at this expression, and we're going to copy and paste that script that I put in the YouTube video or in the comments, and this is what that script is. You copy and paste it here, and let's just go through it quickly. If you, let's say you were not starting at 100, maybe you're starting at 2950. Okay, you would put the 2950, so maybe that's your start station. So you just put whatever your start station is as that part. Then later on, you could also change the format. Maybe you want to have it to 2 decimal places, so you can actually put the decimal places in here, and it'll give you a text string with the decimals. You can change that format here if you want. And if it doesn't end in a decimal, then it defaults to 00. And then this last part just assembles the part before the plus with the part after the plus. So now when I start this, it's going to start the stationing at 2950, which would be right here. So you can kind of adjust your stationing in that script. You can obviously change your formatting too. You could make it right on this side and then flip. You can do that. Different ways of doing that using conditional formatting, but you get the idea. If you found this video helpful, please consider reaching out to me at Big Pine Consultants. I can help you with any mapping GIS. We also have archaeology services and environmental consulting services. We're based in Pittsburgh. We'd love to help out anybody that is willing to work with us.